currently driving to find a good location to make this video, because I really don't want to do it in my room or in my car. So let's hope I find somewhere. It's raining right now, so that kind of sucks. I haven't actually attempted to go to a park since all this started, but they have everything. You can't really see with my window. Hold on. We're gonna pull to the side here so I can show you. They have everything taped off. See if I can zoom in for you. Everything. I was gonna sit right in there, but that's taped off too, where the entrance is. I don't know if the rest of the parks are like this, but we're about to find out. So as I'm driving by this one's the same way. I know it's not focusing that well, but you can kind of see the tape through my stupid window. All right, we're headed up to one right now. I don't know if it'll be open. The gates are open. By the way, you guys like that crash figure right there? That's my favorite little guy. All right, so let's see. Let's see what's here. Oh, no, more tape. You see that? Everywhere you go, everything is taped off. Even the bathrooms are taped off. If you really gotta go, you're not gonna go here. The paper, I don't even know if you guys can read it if I get here, but it says it's a communal area, and for the guidelines, they're preventing the spread of, So, all of our parks are closed. I didn't check them all, but I can already tell I'm not gonna waste my time. They're all gonna be closed. So now I gotta find somewhere else to make this video. I know for you guys it's only been like 1 second, but I've been sitting here trying to figure out where to go, and I was thinking about filming it in the car, but I don't really, because I want to put it like right here at the wheel. That way it's focused like just on me, but I don't have anything to put to keep it still, and the rain is just interfering. You probably can't hear it as loud as I can right now. But while I was trying to set up the phone, it started pouring down harder than what it is now, and it got really loud. Alright, so it is the next day, and I decided to just go ahead and film this in the house to make everything easier for me. And you're going to see me look down like I'm doing right now. That's because I have notes to go on with the films in order from what I've worked on, pretty much where I started, all the way to the last one. There's not a lot of them. So we're going to start off with the very first one. The movie itself is called Rednecks. I know. You're like, Rednecks. Yeah, that's what it was called. So all I had to do was sit in the yard. That was it. I just showed up at the location. They told me that I was playing as the great-great-grandson of the main actor, who was also the director, filmmaker, all that kind of stuff. And I believe the editor as well. I think he did everything, actually. So they told me to sit down in the yard. I think I might have had my own chairs, so I brought my own chairs there, placed it in the yard, sat down, and listened to the main actor tell a story. It was him 100 years in the future, so he was really old. I just sat in the yard. I did have a speaking role, but they cut it out of the movie. Now this was in 2013, so I don't know much of an update on it. I don't know if it's been released. I don't know what company they're working with or anything like that. So that was the first movie. This one is the second one, but my most favorite out of all of them. This was a commercial that I filmed in 2016 for a haunted attraction called Scaremare. Now, when I arrived, first of all, I was the only person that wasn't from that area that I know of. That was there to film the commercial. I was told I was going to be an extra. I was going to be a zombie. They sent me a script and pretty much had all the details there. So I said, okay, cool. I went over there. They were deciding who was going to be the featured zombies. So the featured zombies were the ones that were in front of their group. There were 2 different groups. I ended up becoming a featured zombie, so I had my own group. I was in front of that group, basically leading that group. And being a featured zombie, you got more special effects type makeup. So you had liquid latex, prosthetic pieces, stuff like that, while everyone else just had regular paint because they weren't going to be seen as well on camera. So That alone was one of my favorites that I've done. This commercial, I believe, is only like a minute long. The amount of time that it took us was, I believe, over 8 hours or around 8 hours, but it was definitely at least the 8 hour mark. And they were freaking out because if it was longer than 8 hours, it was going to be overtime, which, of course, you can't. In that particular situation, that was something that was frowned upon for that specific thing. Not like film in general, but for this specific project, they did not want something like that. So it lasted at least 8 hours for a 1 minute clip or a 1 minute commercial. Now, funny thing is, we all got in makeup, and we were in makeup for at least 8 hours. And there was a time where people needed to go to the bathroom. There was no bathroom there. So we had to leave and go to one of the people's house, I don't remember who it was, but like they put us in her car, and then she took us to her apartment. And all you see is like a group of zombies, face peeling off. And this isn't like around Halloween either, because this was the commercial for that. So of course that needs to be displayed before the actual attraction. So we're over here in full on makeup, going to this person's house, going like through town. I stared out the window the entire time. I wanted people to see how disgusting I looked. I wanted them to see the blood, my face peeling off and all that. And then I get to the apartment, and then her roommate is there. Her roommate was not part of the commercial. So roommate shows up. She looks at us. I just stare at her. I stayed in character. I was a zombie, ready to kill people. Like, that was my thing. So I stayed in character. That was a lot of fun, too, just going to someone's apartment randomly throughout this whole thing. What people might not realize, and I'm assuming what I'm about to say is 100% correct, because this was in 2016, so I don't fully remember all the details, but Scaremare has, at least from what I remember, it's an inside and outside haunted attraction. So there are buildings you go in, and then you go outside, and there's like different things outside, then you go to another building. So they're like multiple buildings, but in one of the buildings is where we filmed the commercial. But we filmed it in like a behind the scenes area, I guess you would call it, of the haunted attraction. So it's not the part that is open to the public, which made it look a little creepier. Now we're getting into my first big budget project, I guess you would say. It is the Mercy Street Season 2 TV show. Now, this was a PBS show, and it was Civil War era style. So if you're interested in the nurses and doctors and pretty much everything that happened behind the scenes of the war, that's what this TV show is about. I was able to work with a lot of big name actors, which was really cool because I didn't actually research ahead of time when I got the job. I literally got the job and was like, cool, I'm about to film on a TV show. And I get there and I'm just like, oh, I know you and you and you. Like, it was really cool. So a few of the people, I have them listed down here. Josh Radnor, Anna Sophia Robb, Gary Cole, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Norbert Leo Butts, I think that's how you say it. I don't know how you say his name. Tara Summers, and that's all on my list, but there's a lot more. The coolest thing is being able to go back in time while filming this show. I played as multiple characters. I don't want to say my first time being there, because my first time being there, I actually didn't film anything at all, which I'll explain that in a second. But my first filmed thing there was me as a Union soldier, and then the other 2 episodes I did were as Confederate patients. So I played in 3 different episodes. The first day that I was there, I was supposed to be Abraham Lincoln's guard. Okay, one of his guards. They originally had it to where he had 4 guards, and we were supposed to walk down the stairs of the mansion house. So we actually rehearsed that, and I was there rehearsing with Lincoln and the 3 other guards, and they decided it was too much. They said it was too many people. They want to slim it down a bit, so they removed 2 of the guards. I was one of the 2. So I didn't. Now, I still got paid for the whole day, even though I didn't film anything. I was just rehearsing with people, but I was in full gear. I had everything. I had the gun. I had it all. And it was like almost 100-degree weather in the outfit. It was really, really hot. But Yeah, so the first day, I didn't actually get to film anything. I haven't seen the DVD version yet. So I saw it when it was on TV. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because there is a blooper that I witnessed that I don't know if it's on there. I don't even know if they have bloopers on the DVD version or not. I don't know any of their special features. But in the mansion house, one of the women, I don't remember which character it was, but she was walking down the stairs and she slipped and she fell down the stairs. And I don't mean to laugh, but I mean, like, it's just one of those things. Like, it happens. So everybody's all serious. They're filming the scene. Someone starts rolling down the stairs. Speaking of bloopers, this actually wasn't on film, but this is something that happened to me behind the scenes. I was in my Union Guard outfit, and on my gun, there was a spider. He was building a web, because I didn't notice it. I just had my gun sitting there right next to me. It was building a web, and it started connecting the web to me. I don't do spiders. I freaked out and I threw my gun down the stairs. Yeah. They looked at me. I said there was a spider. That was my only explanation. Now, one of the days that I was filming, I actually got a principal role. Now, what that meant was I was getting a huge bonus in pay that day, and I was getting a guaranteed 8 hours no matter how long we filmed, which we were only there 4 hours, and I still got paid for 8. This was a scene that Anna Sophia Robb was filming, and I was one of the background soldiers. You'll see, because I do have this picture. I am that little speck. And I know that's me, and don't judge me. I was excited because I knew that was me. So I was really happy to see that on TV. Another thing I will talk about is the food there, because this was the first time I actually had an actual big budget job, a big budget film job. So I wasn't used to the food buffet that they had. They had a movie catering, team that came in, full buffet for lunch. They had a breakfast buffet. Like, it was all just an all-you-can-eat buffet, and it was really, really good. They had their own little snack bar in the extras area. So I ate a lot, and I drank a lot of coffee over there that they had to keep constantly refilling it. But it was all free. Like, that was just for us for being there. Because most of the time when you're filming something, you are there, you could be there for like 8, 10, 12 hours, but only actually film for like 10, 20 minutes. But you're still getting paid for, the amount of time that you're there. So they make sure that they keep you fed. They make sure there's plenty of snacks. They take care of you. At least this company did. Now we are at the final movie that I've done, which is called... I might have filmed it in 2000. I don't even know. But I filmed it. This is the most recent thing that I've worked on. Before I get into all the details of the filming that we did, I want to explain why I should not have been there. Now, I think it was 2 weeks before I was supposed to go on set. I had somebody fall on me that was like twice my size. He fell right on top of my ribs, and they were bruised. I went to the hospital and got it all checked out. They were bruised. I could not take a deep breath. I could not yawn. I could not cough. Could not sneeze because it was so much pain that it was causing me. I couldn't even touch my ribs. I couldn't have anything near my ribs. I couldn't lay on my side. Like, it was bad. I did not tell anyone associated with the film about my ribs because I did not want them to tell me that I wasn't able to show up and I wasn't able to do my part because I really wanted to do this. I was playing as an infected person who was going to get shot. So I wanted to do it. It was my first time getting killed in a movie. I really wanted to experience this, and plus I was playing as an infected person, so that's kind of like one of the things that I love. I love being a horror character. I love being either a killer, a monster, an infected person, whatever it is. Whatever the enemy is, that's what I like to be. That is my favorite thing. And this film, to me, it meant a lot to me because I was able to actually do the one thing that I wanted to do, was be a zombie or be infected in a movie or a TV show. And I finally had that opportunity to do that. With that being said, when I got on set, I was in so much pain anytime I walked, I didn't even run. I was going to say anytime I run, but I didn't even run. Just mainly walking itself. I had to be careful with the way I twisted my body, but I did not want it to be known that I was injured. So I played it off so no one knew. And to me, in my head, that was testing my acting ability as well, because if no one knows that I'm injured, no one's going to question anything, which no one did. Now, the actual scene was when I was getting shot. They told me that I could either fall in the grass and be further away from the camera but in a more padded area, or I could be falling in the road, which is closer to the camera, but it's the road. Like, that's solid. There's no padding anywhere. Now, when I say padding, I don't mean like they had pads like in the grass. It was like actual grass. You know, you're just falling right on the ground, but that's a lot softer than falling on the road. So, of course, me hearing getting closer to the camera means falling in the road. Let's do it. So I ended up falling in the road 5 different times. Like, full on. There was no bracing because you're dead, right? Your body is just limp. It's falling. And that's exactly what I did. I fell on the ground, and I was hurting bad. So let's discuss what happened offset while they were filming. Because when I wasn't doing my part, they were still filming, but other things were happening offset. One of them that I want to mention, and I was in contact with the filmmaker and the main actor and asking if I could tell this, and he's like, yeah, you tell whatever you want. So where the base camp was, because that's what it's always called for movie terms, is where everyone pretty much groups together when you're not filming. That's like base camp. That's where you can get your makeup, your food, and all that kind of stuff. And that was in a parking lot that was reserved. Like, they paid for the spots to have them for all day or half a day or whatever it was. Well, the restaurant that also shared that parking lot was mad. I think it was like a Chinese place or something. I don't remember. But they were mad because they were complaining that we were taking up so many spots that they couldn't have customers come in. And I'm just like, really? Like, you're complaining to a movie company right now. In my opinion, if I'm seeing like this restaurant right beside of a whole base camp for a movie, I'm going to go at least in that area and explore what's going on. And if I get hungry, I'm going to go to that restaurant. Like, and people were still going to that restaurant. It was funny, though, because they were complaining and everything. I mean, there was a lot to it, but yeah, that's one thing that happened. Speaking of food, where we filmed this at, when we were getting shot, now these are very bloody, disgusting, infected people that look terrible, that are getting shot in the face by a gun. Right beside that was a restaurant that had people eating outside. So, yes, those people were enjoying their nice, expensive dinner right beside a bunch of zombies getting shot in the face. It was great. So I saved this for last because this was like a little more serious. While filming, we had flaggers on each side of the road because we couldn't shut down the entire road, so we just shut down a portion of that road. Now, there was a detour road to go around. People could not understand why we had to shut down a portion of the road. Keep in mind, there are people, infected people, full makeup, laying in the road, and people are still trying to run past these flaggers to go through that road. We eventually did have to clear the road, and we had to let people through because they were causing such a huge mess with that. Cops were called, so the cops show up. They got shown the film permits, so like they couldn't do anything, and it was just a whole chaotic mess. And it was scary to film it because when they say action, like I'm in full mode. I got my hand moving in the background, but when they say action, I'm in full infected mode. I'm ready to go and kill the main actor. I'm not worried about what's beside me because in my mind, I don't have a mind. I'm infected. I'm pretty much already dead. So it was scary to me because the entire time I kept thinking, is there going to be a car that hits me? Am I not going to be able to get out of the way in time if it runs past one of the flaggers? Like, that was a scary moment for me, and I'm sure it was for others as well. Luckily, you know, we were all fine. We didn't have a big mess like that again, but it was definitely something that concerned me while we were filming. As I was editing this video, I forgot to tell you guys that I did get permission to show you the full Medic Zero trailer. So that's what you're going to see right now.
this research, this project, what we've had, we're poised for a breakthrough. You have my written proposal, and the empirical evidence show that we are onto something. Something great for humanity. Listen, I know that we'll get results. I'll stake my reputation on this work. Yes. Yes. So get it done.
Patient was given 1 milligram epi, the 18 gauge in the right antecubital. Doc, we got here in 7 minutes. Be advised. This is Dr. Villanueva's daughter.
Does he know?
Where is she? Where is she?
Hello, EMS. We're here to help.
Hey, it's EMS, medics. Hello.
So now I'm going to very briefly answer a few questions that people may have. Question number 1, do you get paid for being an extra? Yes, sometimes though. Like, it's not all the time. The commercial I did was unpaid. The Medic Zero movie I did was unpaid. They were volunteer work pretty much, but I enjoyed them and I loved doing that, and that's why I did it. Now, the other two, the first movie, the Rednecks movie, that was paid, and the TV show was paid. So it all just depends on the production and you know what's going on. Definitely something that you can discuss before accepting the job, finding out the rate and everything like that. Another common question is, how do you get to be an extra? How can you find out what movies need extras, where they're filming at, and stuff like that? I did a few of these by email. So you sign up, whatever state you have will have like a, what is it called? I don't know, it's like some type of film or casting thing with your state, and you can sign up and you can get emails about projects that are being filmed, and then they'll give you like the information that you need to contact who you need to contact. That's how I did a lot of mine. But email is like one of the main things, you know, send emails out to the casting director, send emails out to whoever provided their information. That way you can find out what they're looking for if it's not already specified, see what you can do to be a part of that film, what you need to send in to them, you know, all that kind of stuff. Send emails. If you can, get you an agent. An agent will help you perfectly. I don't have one. I never looked into getting one, but I will eventually in the future. So emails, agents, contacts, you know. If you know somebody who's already doing something like this, talk to them. Find out what they know. They could give you more information and just go with it. Now, this isn't really a question, but I know a lot of people probably wonder this. Like, what is it like to be on set? Depending on the type that you're filming, because some things could be more physical and some could be more laid back. The wait times are going to be what gets you. You could be waiting for 4 or 5 hours before you even get your 10-minute shot, and then waiting another 4 or 5 hours just in case they may need you. The wait times are basically where you're getting paid for, because you have so long to wait. Now, if you got like a huge role, then yeah, you're probably going to be on camera a lot more, but as an extra, the wait times are going to get you. So that's pretty much it for this video. I told you what I remember. There's probably some things that I left out, but I told you what I remember from my film experiences. If there are any comments about something that I did not touch on, feel free to ask me, and I will reply either in another video or probably just in the comments if there's not a lot of questions. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys next time.